What is going on, guys? Thank you so much for stopping by. Hopefully you are having a great day so far and preparing for an awesome weekend. So today is September 24th. We are playing the Jacksonville Jaguars tonight, Thursday night football at 8:20 Eastern time. This is going to be a pretty interesting game, guys, and I kind of want to dive into just a little pregame, kind of talking about what we can expect coming into this game here. So guys, if you like what you see on the channel, you are new to our content, or if you just haven't subscribed yet, definitely feel free to subscribe. Hit that bell icon so you can be kept up to date with all the videos we got coming out on the channel. And then also keep your eyes open for a video coming out either later tonight or early tomorrow. That's going to be the post-game show talking about what we saw on the field, who won, who didn't, pretty standard post-game stuff. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this. I have my notes in front of me that I was writing down earlier. We're just going to do a quick run through some basic stuff here. So first of all, let's talk about the actives and the inactives. For Jacksonville, we've got Brandon Linder, who is out. That is good for Miami because he is a very solid offensive lineman. Obviously not rooting for any kind of injury, but he's going to be out for the game. Their kicker, Lambo, is also out for the game. And then we also do have an interesting one here, and that's DJ Chark. DJ Chark is questionable, and this is going to be a pretty big thing for Miami if he winds up missing today's game. Because Miami's secondary, if you watched the last video that I put out covering the Bills against the Dolphins, our secondary just got absolutely torched. I mean, we got destroyed in the air. So if Jacksonville loses their best receiver, arguably their best receiver, and one of Gardner Minshew's favorite targets to throw the ball to, that could be a big help to Miami because we might not struggle as much against these other guys. So we'll see what happens there. But on the flip side for Miami, Byron Jones is out. I thought that would be the case after his injury to his groin against the Bills on Sunday. It's really not a shocker that he's going to miss some time. Hopefully this is the only game that he misses, though. I really would be bummed out and a little upset to see Byron Jones missing significant time just because of how much we paid the guy. So I'm really rooting for a quick and speedy recovery for Byron Jones. Hopefully that groin clears up and is not too much of a nagging injury for a long time here. So Byron Jones out. We have Jason Strobridge, who is also out. We haven't seen anything of him so far this season, if I'm not mistaken. And if I'm wrong there, guys, go ahead and let me know down below. But I can't remember seeing him at any point so far in the season. I would like to see him soon. I think that when the Dolphins drafted Strobridge, he's a pretty good, versatile defensive lineman. I like what he brings to the table. So I'm hoping to see a little bit of him sometime soon. I would really like to see what he can do on the field in game, like during live action, because he did have a pretty good training camps period. So like I said, I would really like to see Strobridge, but he will be out for this week on Thursday. And then last but not least, doubtful is going to be Clayton Fejedelem. He is more of a special teams guy, kind of just situational filling safety position, and nothing too big from Clayton Fejedelem, but he's doubtful. Not really sure if he's going to play or not. That'll be a game time decision. So moving past the actives and inactives, let's go ahead and get real quickly into what tonight's matchup is going to look like. I'll give you my personal prediction on who I think is going to win and why. And I don't want to drag this one on too long. I know that my last video was pretty lengthy, guys, and I do want to apologize for that. I did not do any editing. It was straight off of my phone. And when I do that, I kind of just do one take and send it onto YouTube. So I did not realize that I ran as long as I did because that was like 20 minutes. So I'm going to do my best to keep this one under 10 minutes long. Either way, let's go ahead and dive into the game. So the Dolphins face the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars are 1-1 thus far, and the Dolphins have yet to win. They're sitting at 0-2 matching up, and we are traveling to Jacksonville for this game. So the two main things, right? I guess I should say the main one thing that I think about when I am looking at and evaluating this matchup for Miami is both of these teams have poor defenses. Both of these teams cannot consistently defend a good NFL offense through the game. They might have, little flashes. So it's kind of just a flash in the pan of what these teams can do at any given moment. But clearly, Jacksonville doesn't have the talent that Miami does on defense. But for whatever reason, Miami is performing really, really poorly on the defensive side of the ball, regardless of all the guys that we've picked up, regardless of the money or the draft picks or whatever you want to call it, regardless of the investment that we've made in this defense. It just really doesn't look like we're able to consistently play any kind of good NFL defensive football. And the same could be said for Jacksonville. However, they just really haven't invested too much. They're really kind of coming into what a lot of people are calling just another rebuild for Jacksonville. And hopefully they'll be able to kind of set the table now for what their team can look like in the future. So they've kind of stuck with the base minimal pieces that they want, the guys who they really want to start building that franchise around, and then they kind of cleaned house everywhere aside from that. I mean, Jalen Ramsey is gone, AJ Boye is gone, Calais Campbell is gone, Leonard Fournette is gone. A lot of guys are out of Jacksonville now who made that team very, very good just a few years ago. So Jacksonville on a brand new rebuild. And that's kind of what I think about when I think about this matchup is we have two defenses who really are having a hard time playing just inconsistent football from both of the sides here. And then when I think about the offensive side of the ball for both teams have been playing pretty decent offense. Now, Jacksonville's been playing better offensively. They've been getting a pretty solid year out of Gardner Minshew. I'm actually pretty surprised to see the way that he's been playing thus far, but he's been having a pretty solid season. I think he's at 6 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. Having a pretty nice game, and his QBR is pretty high too. If I'm not mistaken, it's like 115 right now, which is pretty nice. So Gardner Minshew is having a good year so far, and if he continues in that trend today, Miami's secondary could be in a lot of trouble again, and we've had a really, really hard time containing any kind of space in the middle of the field. We've been having a hard time containing receivers, reading the quarterback's eyes properly. I just feel like the secondary as a whole has really, really struggled to get their job done. But that's not all due to the secondary. And I know that I took a big rip into the secondary in my last video, but I do also want to address the defensive line needs to get in and get some pressure on the quarterback. If we want to slow down Gardner Minshew and the Jacksonville offense at all, we're going to have to cover the receivers. We're going to have to do a better job covering. We play pretty much exclusively man coverage, and that's something that I've noticed watching back on the games is it's pretty consistently and exclusively man coverage, meaning that they trust their cornerbacks. They're not kind of throwing them out there into zone, because usually when you have zone, you're kind of relying on multiple guys to cover multiple spots in the field, and that kind of takes the pressure off of one guy guarding one guy. But that's not what the Dolphins have seemed to be doing. They've covered really just kind of man-on-man straight through both games that they've played so far, with a couple of, zone, hybrids, whatever you want to call them, thrown in there occasionally. But it's been primarily zone or primarily man. So if we want our cornerbacks to be able to hold, we're going to have to get pressure on the quarterback. With Brandon Linder out, with this Jacksonville offensive line not great. It's a good offensive line, but it's not amazing. I would really like to see Miami get some pressure on Gardner Minshew, get in his face, make him get rid of the ball earlier than he has been, make him get rid of the ball uncomfortably in positions that he would not usually want to do that. As long as we can get consistent pressure on Gardner Minshew, it makes the job for the secondary much easier. And on top of all of that, we have to stop the run. We've got to slow it down. I have notes written down here. Jacksonville is averaging 28.5 points per game. Miami allows 26 points per game so far, 440 total yards per game, and 164.5 rushing yards per game, which is not good at all. What that tells me is that the defensive line needs to step up their game, stopping the run and also getting pressure on the quarterback. So, guys, I am anticipating a high-scoring game today. I could definitely see a scenario where it's right around 28-21, maybe even a little bit higher, 31-24, somewhere right around there. I could see that being the outcome. And I am going to choose the Dolphins for this one. I think this could be our first win of the game. or first win of the season, rather, guys, excuse me. Yeah, 0-2 coming in. I think that this Dolphins defense kind of has a fire lit under them right now where they are starting to realize we need to pick this up. We need to pick up the pace and do a better job. So hopefully that encourages them to kind of step up and do their job a little bit more. And then also the offensive clicks like it did last game, because we actually had a pretty solid offensive game last week against Buffalo, who is a very good defense. So if we can keep that trend going, Buffalo couldn't stop us. Buffalo couldn't stop us. Hopefully Jacksonville can't either. And then on the flip side, hopefully we can slow down Jacksonville and Gardner Minshew and all those boys that are playing today, because this defense needs to do a better job. So guys, I've got Miami. I'm thinking right about, somewhere right around 31-24. That is going to be my guess for what this game could turn out to be. Hopefully the Dolphins come away with the W, but if they do not, guys, definitely keep your eyes open. I mean, even if they do too, but regardless of what happens in the game, I don't know why I said that, but regardless of what happens in the game, guys, keep your eyes open, because I will have a video coming out covering the post game, what I saw on the field, and then we can get talking about our thoughts about the full game down below in the comment section. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you swing back by for the post-game show. And if you have not already, definitely subscribe, like, comment, hit that bell icon for notifications and all that good stuff. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I will catch you very, very soon. Go Dolphins, guys, and hopefully we come away with this W. Thanks a lot, guys. Fins up.